Good evening, short story writers. This is part two because I thought I'd pressed the record button and I hadn't. Anyway, continuing the theme that there are short story ideas in your junk mail. I'm not sure who Freddy's are. Um, Freddy's.co.uk, so it must be. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Um, just trying to elaborate on the idea that short story ideas, fiction writing prompts are everywhere. They're all around you. You can put your hand on anything at all. These headphones, your nose, um, anything in your drawer. You could pull up the cutlery drawer and there would be something there which you could turn into a short story idea by asking, what does it do? What does it not do? What if it did not do what it is supposed to do and was designed to do that deliberately? Um, what if it were bigger? What if it were smaller? What if it were the opposite of what it is? In this case, this is paper. What if it were made of cloth? What if it were made of plastic? What if it were made of glass? Um, what does this is an advertising leaflet now. Okay, for the more bizarre science fiction, fantasy, horror type threads, you could say, well, what if it didn't advertise? What if it was a kind of anti-advertisement? It was to warn you not to eat these things by making it look yummy, but then oh no, opposite, making it look really horrible, so that every time you thought about fast food in the future, you would also summon this image up and it would cause you to possibly lose weight. I know they've tried this with smoking campaigns with pictures of diseased lungs and things, but they're going about it the wrong way. The subconscious doesn't work that way, but you could probably do it with food because the subconscious is very much short term. And anyway, it's paper. So what can you use paper for? You can use it to start fires. You can use it to make paper airplanes. Inside, we have what? Pictures. So, and then descriptions. So what if the descriptions used very subtle language to try to put you off? We've got a chart here. So this could be used as a way of introducing mathematics, arithmetic, simple arithmetic, and maybe multiplication to somebody who thinks that studying is nonsense, where you can say, well, look, imagine you haven't got a calculator. You've got to do it in your head. And because it's use a characteristic, you say, if you get the use, write it all down and calculate this order, and if you get it right, then you can choose something off the menu. So carrot and stick type of situation there. Could be used to teach language. In fact, when I was a language teacher, we used similar things like these, but in Korea. So I would take these over and say, oh, you can do exactly what I've just described. So maybe that's not. What else? You could use it for origami. You could use it to make paper chains. There's a certain trick where you cut things in a certain way. You challenge someone and say, can you step through this? Can you get your head through this? And then you cut it a certain way when they say, I don't know how to. And you open it all out in this kind of thing, and then you step through it. You could make paper boats, paper planes. You could do those things where they got fortunes in as party games. That'd be more of your literary sort of fiction, I guess. Science fiction could be... well, science fiction, fantasy, and horror could be, as explored previously, genetically modified food causing strange reactions in certain people, and then they gain superpowers or whatever, or demons are summoned. A really nasty horror thing, sort of like Saw. It would be a Sweeney Todd scenario. somebody somebody is recycling human parts, or Soil and Green did that, didn't they? And that again could be the thriller stroke action movie. The police or somebody's investigating the disappearance of certain people, serial killers, and the way that they're disposing of the bodies. It's been done before. There was somebody who operated in a very similar way to the character in American Psycho. I can't remember his name exactly. He lured them back into his apartment in London and then murdered them. And then within the next few days, people were served up this very delicious stew, which they thought he was so generous, always bringing stew into work. And yeah, so I'm sure that they were quite horrified. And ooh, if you're one of them, I do apologise for laughing, but it is a kind of a grim humour. But it must have been pretty horrific finding that out after that. In fact, there's a story for you literary types. You find that some act of kindness that you thought was fantastic turned out to be something more macabre. And on those lines, you could also explore what it would be like to be a relative of the murderer, or a relative of one of the victims, and finding that out that had been their end. That would be a very serious sort of story. And I'm pretty sure you could incorporate that kind of theme into a horror or a fantasy or a science fiction movie as well. Somebody who is Larry Niven style, disposing of people in order to get their organs, harvest their organs and sell them. Okay, 6:50, that's it. So Leaflet came through the door, loads of ideas from Leaflets. A design student could find inspiration in here. Somebody could think I could do better and set out on a new career, that kind of thing. So, and it could cause a family feud. I want this, I want that, no you can't, it's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. Before you know, there's mayhem going on. And on that note, because it's Christmas, and we cannot have mayhem at Christmas, we have to have family harmony. Then how about somebody decides that they want this as their Christmas meal? I can't see that going down very well, but, you know, as a kind of an end to a family feud, everybody agrees and they'll have a pizza or something like that. So if you find this useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you find it terrible, give it a thumbs down. Do not bother subscribing, and happy writing, and I will see you next time.